Ladies and gentlemen, of late, if you look at the side of opposition, you can actually note that Rigathi Gachagua actually likes Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, and he might give his full support to Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka let come 2027 presidential election. And that is why he has always been with Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka to have rallies across Mount Kenya and Ukambani region. And Rigathi Gachagua has not hidden anything, because he has said outwardly that the Wiper Party leaders stood with him during the time of impeachment, and they are going to actually pay back that, and they will make sure that Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka doesn't get disappointed. And that is why, if Rigathi Gachagua was to be asked that between Fred Okengo-Matiang'i and Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, Martha Karua, Eugene Wamalwa, who are you supporting to go for presidency, let come 2027, from the side of opposition, he will actually say without blinking that the person who he favors for that will be Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. And therefore, the question is, what can Rigathi Gachagua do to make sure that Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, once he goes for presidency, let come 2027, he will unseat President William Samoei Arap Ruto from power? So that is actually what I want to break down for you. But before I dive in, to show you what Rigathi Gachagua can do to make sure that Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka unseats President William Samoei Arap Ruto, I could request you kindly to take a minute and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Give this video a like, share the video to your friends, and whenever you subscribe, always make sure to hit the notification bell, because once you hit the notification bell, it means you have given YouTube permission so that you can get notified to watch any political content that we upload into YouTube. And for those ones who have actually subscribed to our YouTube channel and they always keep watching our videos, I say thank you so much. May God bless you, because you always inspire us to continue coming up with this kind of political analysis. And now, let us dive back to the topic. Since Rigathi Gachagua can actually favor Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka to go for presidency, let come 2027, what do we expect of him to do so that he can make sure that Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka succeed to be the president of this republic by unseating William Samoei Arap Ruto? The first thing he must do is that he must make sure that there is unity within the opposition, that any political leader within the opposition circle is going to bolt out. He must make sure that he unify the entire opposition, such that any leader can bolt out of that. And therefore, that is the biggest thing, that he must make sure that it happens. Because making the side of opposition to be in harmony is actually a big test, because you may find that there are leaders within that circle who may bolt out, mainly because Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka will be their flag bearer. So, for that dream to come into being, then Rigathi Gachagua must make sure that any political leader will bolt out of the unity of opposition. He must have a higher convincing power. So that is the first thing that he must do. The second thing that Rigathi must do is to rock the entire Mount Kenya as a region. Rigathi must campaign properly within Mount Kenya, such that he will make sure that William Samoei Arap Ruto will not be able to encroach into Mount Kenya, so that to get any kind of votes from Mount Kenya. And doing that, he should deliver the entire Mount Kenya votes to Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. So that's the next thing he must do to make Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka to be the next president of this republic, and to make William Samoei Arap Ruto to be a one-term president. The third thing that Rigathi must do is that they must know by now that they should move out of their stronghold, and they should broaden their pace. They should broaden their stronghold. Because if they cannot do that, then it might be difficult for them to win election. So they must do a proper campaigning. They must have a strategy of campaigning properly outside their stronghold, outside, let's say, Ukambani, outside Gusiland, outside Mount Kenya, so that they can also have votes on those other regions, because that will make it very easy for them to win, and to win randomly. Another thing that Rigathi Gachagua must do is that they must have a strategy which they will use to safeguard their votes. In this nation, you have always been hearing people saying that my votes were stolen. Year in, year out, that has been the song. And therefore, they should be safeguarded against that. And it means that in every polling station, the side of opposition must have that strategy. So if Rigathi Gachagua will help the opposition to have that strategy, that is the only time that he will make sure that Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka is actually going to unseat President William Samoei Arap Ruto. So that's another thing Rigathi Gachagua must do. And another thing that Rigathi Gachagua must do, remember, this is the time of registration of voters. They must actually stop even what they are doing, the campaign or the campaigns they are having currently, and they must have a proper campaigning in their stronghold to tell people that you must have votes, you must have ideas, you must have voters cards, and they should also ensure that the IEBC will have enough personnel or enough personnels at their stronghold, so that it will be very easy for people to get registered as voters. Because remember, we have a very high percentage of the Gen Zs who are going to vote this time and who never voted there before. But if the Gen Zs can actually not be inspired to go and register as voters, then you will find that their stronghold will have fewer Gen Zs who will actually go and vote, probably for Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. So that is another thing that Rigathi will have to do. And lastly, is that another thing that Rigathi must do, he must put opposition together, and they must have a rallying call. They must have a proper narrative, a narrative that will resonate very well with people. You saw what William Samoei Arap Ruto did, the isolation. That narrative actually shaved his victory. That narrative helped William Samoei Arap Ruto to get power and to reach near to the common people of this nation. And it was one of the sweetest message to the people of Kenya. So, Rigathi on the other side, they must have that. They must have the best rallying call. They must have the best narrative, which actually will suit people and which will make people to vote for them. And also, they must have one of the best one of the best manifesto. They must have policies which are quite attractive to the people of Kenya. So those are the things that if today Rigathi was to say, I want to make Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka to be the president, because we can say and we can see that he loves Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka finds favor in Rigathi Gachagua. It's quite clear. Then Rigathi Gachagua must be able, must be capable to do all those things so that he will realize his dream of making President William Samoei Arap Ruto to be a one-term and making Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka to be the president of this nation. What are other things do you think Rigathi will be expected to do to help Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka to become the president of this republic? Please drop your comment in the comment section below. And if this is your first time to pump into this YouTube channel, I request you kindly to take a minute and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Give this video a like, share the video to your friends. And if your friends are lovers of politics, it's good to request them for us to subscribe to this YouTube channel and also hit the notification bell to enable YouTube so that you can get notified to watch any political content that we upload into YouTube. And with that, I say thank you all abundantly until we meet in our next political discussion. Goodbye.